I can't quite believe I'm saying this. My legs are so happy now, and that is because Alton Towers have finally announced a reopening date for the Sky Ride. Welcome back to ThrillNet, and yet again another news update. It feels like this is the only kind of content I'm doing at the moment, but importantly so, as today on Friday the 4th of April, Alton Towers have finally confirmed that their main transportation system around the park, known as the Sky Ride, which is essentially a cable car system for those of you who aren't aware, is going to be finally reopening on April the 30th after having been closed for over 2 seasons now. Now, Alton Towers is a huge theme park complex. It's actually over 500 acres in size, and therefore naturally it can be quite time consuming to walk around, which obviously isn't ideal when you're paying for a ticket, or even if you have an annual pass, you're not getting the best value for your money because you're having to invest time in your day walking between attractions. And not only that, it can also be very tiring to walk around, and most notably of all, not very accessible to walk around. It's a very hilly park, there's a lot of steps in places, the gardens in particular are an accessibility nightmare, and that is why the Sky Ride is deemed such an important ride for that park to have operational. The reason the Sky Ride has remained closed to the public for an extended period of time, since the beginning of 2023 if we're being specific, simply put, is because Merlin Entertainment, the parent company of Alton Towers, who own many attractions around the world, are probably the most financially irresponsible corporation on the planet. As many of you are aware, Merlin have been receiving a lot of stick lately because they've been making a lot of cutbacks to their attractions. For example, they got rid of the majority of their entertainment employees at the start of this year, and this is despite them having invested heavily in new things, attractions and parks in recent years, which is ultimately the issue. They've invested so much in their expansion, but they simply haven't got the return on that investment, and as a result of that irresponsibility, you could call it, they've had to make major cutbacks elsewhere, including within the maintenance department, and that's why Sky Ride has had to remain closed for so long, because it's just been neglected over the years, and it's ultimately reached a point where it hasn't been fit to operate anymore, and the park have been forced to close it to carry out an extensive refurbishment. Nevertheless, it's finally ready to reopen now. It's been testing heavily over the past few weeks, and needless to say, I'm really happy. I want to give a massive shout out to the maintenance team at Alton Towers, Bianca, etc. Everyone at the resort behind getting this ride back open, even though it has taken so long. Ideally, this attraction should have been ready for the start of the season. We've got Easter coming up and it's still going to be remaining closed then, even though the park is going to be really busy inevitably, which obviously isn't ideal. But credit where credit's due, the park have finally managed to get it operational again. I know this is only a very small news update really, but as someone who has been quite critical of accessibility at Merlin in recent times, because, you know, they have a discriminatory ride access pass system and all that, I feel like it's only right that I be fair and constructive and give credit where credit's due. And with the Sky Ride being such a vital part of the accessibility of Alton Towers, I feel it's only right that I make a video to celebrate the announcement of its reopening. As I alluded to before, and also in a previous video as well, I know this channel has been pretty quiet lately. I can only apologise that it hasn't been the best start to 2025 for me, but I am hoping that things are going to start to improve as we continue with 2025. So I do hope to release a video soon going into a bit more detail and also sharing my updated plans for the remainder of this season. I can't say yet exactly when that is going to be made and released. It depends how things pan out over the next few weeks. Just know I'm still here, I'm still loving theme parks, and I do have some exciting plans in the pipeline. But in other news, Blackpool Pleasure Beach recently unveiled plans to build a huge 138 foot tall Intamin gyro swing. To hear all about that, check out this video on the right side of your screen. And for more things theme park related in the UK and beyond, make sure you click the icon in the centre of your screen to subscribe.